Well, hello everybody, and welcome to another review. And this one will be for the BikeRiders movie. And yeah, so if y'all do like and enjoy, you know what to do. But if you don't, then get out of here. But with that said, let's get into my viewing of the BikeRiders. Now, if you don't know, I have a short summary of the movie up, and it goes like this. Over the course of a decade, a Midwestern motorcycle club evolves from a gathering place for local outsiders to a sinister gang threatening the original group's way of life. And if you ask me, that's definitely what it is. It doesn't get too dark, but it is mature in the places that it needs to be. So it's not all jokes and laughs and yada yada. Like it it felt really mature to me, and that's something I really enjoyed. And man, some of the stuff that happens in this movie, it didn't make me cringe, but I'm like, okay, I can definitely see a motorcycle gang doing that. And yeah, man, it was just a wonderful experience. It reminded me a lot of Sons of Anarchy, and that's no problem with me because I really liked what I've seen of that show. And yeah, just really good. But we have to, of course, just go over some of the moments. Like, God, like each moment in the movie felt like it belonged in there, and each thing that happened felt like the one of the things I really liked about the movie, it was everything that happened is linked to something, and you know what happened. So from the opening, when Benny doesn't want to take off his colors, then he gets beat the shit out of, and then later on in the movie, it doesn't show it right then and there, but it shows him like with a head bandage and a boot, like a casket or a cast on his foot. It's like, okay, well, that's probably from the thing, but they probably won't go back to that. But then do, which I don't have a problem with, because they explain how he got those injuries. And man, one of them is just a smack in the head with a shovel, but then the other made me cringe because I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't know you could do that with a shovel. Alrighty then, and yeah, just everything felt like it belonged in this movie. And speaking of belonging in this movie, the entire cast in this movie felt like they just became the roles, became the BikeRiders, because this is actually set on an actual gang, if you didn't know that. Because the Vandals were a motorcycle gang way back in the 1950s, 60s, 70s. I think it stopped mid 70s. The original Vandals. And yeah, that's another thing I liked, because I didn't know the Vandals were an actual gang, but I know the other gangs that were in here were actual gangs. So knowing that each group actually happened in that time period really makes it feel like, okay, it kind of feels like realistic, and I guess realistic, I guess that's the word I'm going to use, but it's good that they didn't make up a gang. It's like, oh, those guys, those are the Flubadubas. It's like, oh shit, watch out for them. It's like, what the fuck? And there was never a motorcycle gang named the Flubadubas. But yeah, back to the acting though. The acting, perfection. Everybody in here felt like they belonged, even from the side characters. Like Cockroach felt like he was the actual person, and just like Funny Sonny felt like he belonged, and man, just I'm so happy I'm able to experience a movie like that because, lately, um, I don't know, just the last movie I went and saw, I forget which one it was. I think it was, what was it? I forget. But the last movie I saw, it was good, but when a movie up ante in the acting department and each person feels like they belong in that role or become that person, I love it. I just fall in love with it because the actor becomes a different person. And man, it was just so good, especially Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy, I mean, he just becomes whoever he's playing, you know, from from Mad Max to here, he just becomes whoever he's playing, and man, he felt like a guy who this is what I took off of it. A guy who enjoys what he does, like motorcycle gang wise, but he just knew like some stuff was going to happen. Like he couldn't control the new people, and that might lead to a problem. And he wanted to, retire, just quit riding and just go home to his family. But yeah, no, that didn't end up for him that well, and it really hit me because like he was trying to get Benny to take over, and Benny's just like, no, dude, it's not me because I have I have a relationship, but then not only that, it's just like he knows he's not the one. But Johnny is, but then Johnny, I kind of got the feeling of like Johnny doesn't know who the next leader is. He just thinks Benny is, but also I feel he was just trying to get someone to take over, so he didn't take the upfront, effect of it. But man, just everybody in this movie, amazing acting. It definitely reminded me a lot like Sons of Anarchy, or like just like a really mature movie. It definitely reminded me of acting wise and tone wise in Prisoners, because when I watch Prisoners, holy shit, Hugh Jackman. Oh man, I've only seen him as Wolverine and stuff. I didn't explore out into other roles, but that, holy shit. And and uh, yeah, just goddamn, Hugh Jackman in that was amazing. And yeah, and I just loved it on that sense. But then now we move on to just like the whole story, and it's pretty simple, just a bike gang trying to, welcome in as many people locally as they can. But man, yeah, it's crazy how simple a story like that can be and affect you emotionally. Just like each each biker, each club member just felt like family, and not in the cancer way. At like, oh, we're a family at like a workplace, but like it felt like, oh man, these guys actually love each other. These guys actually care for each other and would do anything for each other. And man, these guys just, I could picture them all just having a ball on the actual set and just in real life. I could picture them actually going and getting motorcycles and actually starting a riding club. And yeah, goddamn. Just, I love when movies do that and just makes you think, like, oh no, these are the actual people. They went to these lengths and so on and so forth. And yeah. And then, yeah, another thing I think we're going to carry on with the story is the way it is told. I loved the way it is told. It was a new way to tell a story without filling it, just adding fluff, as I like to call it, to where each movie feels that it needs to like add the quote unquote important moments of like, oh, how did those two become a couple? And then it shows you, it's like, oh well, when I met this person, we met way back, and then it's another time skip, and it's back when they met, and then the kiss, and la la la. And in here, Benny and Kathy, I hope that's her name. Yeah, Kathy. Benny and Kathy, like, they're a couple. You don't need to see them kiss. You don't need to do anything, because you know that they're a couple because they hang around each other a lot, and they're holding hands, and they cuddle, and so on and so forth. And that's what I liked about it. But then what I also liked about it is I did enjoy the time skips because it explained how we got to a certain point in the story. So, like Benny, in the opening scene, two other bikers come up with them and was like, you can't wear those colors in here. And, Benny's really dedicated. It's like, you're going to have to kill me to take these off. And they beat the shit out of him, and then it freeze frames when he's about to get hit in the head in the back of the shovel. But then, later on in the movie, it goes back to that spot, and then it shows him get hit in the head with the shovel. But then it also shows the other injury, and it shows how he got the cast on his foot. And that's just what I love, It didn't, like, fluff it out. It's like, oh, we need to see Kathy and Benny kiss. It's like, no, we don't. We know they're a couple. It's like, oh, we need to, we just need to fluff it out and explain in vivid detail each and everything that happened. No, you don't. You just need to give people the idea of, like, what is going on, or what is about to go on. And if they don't know, then too bad for them, in my opinion. You can't just hold everybody's hand throughout the movie, or throughout any movie, if you want people to, like, really feel it. Especially with one of those scenes where some bikers are grabbing Kathy and they're going to take her up to her room. Now, if you've seen that, you know what's about to happen. Yeah, I did. I didn't need to, like, have subtext on the fucking screen or subtitles. It's like, oh, well, this means this is gonna happen. Like, yeah, no shit, dude. I know. But, yeah, that's one thing I really enjoyed. And then actually, the ending shot, Benny, like, Kathy's all like, oh man, I don't think he even misses it. But, like, you could just tell by the look on Benny's face that he does. He misses riding with his crew, riding with those people. And he definitely misses Johnny. And that's all I'm going to say on that. Because, man, what happened to Johnny, like, it didn't really surprise me, going off the other members, like, wants and just his vivid, like, look. Like, because he wanted to take control. He wanted to join the Vandals initially in Chicago. But, Johnny didn't let him because he just came off as a joke. And then, he went and joined another channel of the Vandals. And then came back, and then, yeah, this goddamn dude. Like, man, it was so good. So good. I think this is my favorite movie of the year. And it really reminded me, just like, last year, my favorite movie was The Iron Claw. I know they skipped out on a couple of the family's deaths. I know that, but I still really enjoyed the movie for the people they focused on in the movie. And it was all because each person in that movie felt like they fit the role and felt like they became the person, you know? It just felt so good, and it told an emotional story, and it didn't show everything in, like, vivid detail. So, like, when, especially near the ending in that movie, when Carrie is, is, like, at home and stuff, and then he finds a note, or he finds a note from, not David, but, from his brother, and then he rushes home, and then he sees his dad, and then he, goes out to the tree. It's like, oh shit, no, man. And that's what I love. That's the type of storytelling I do love. Like, some moments you do need to see in a story, but then other moments can just be alluded to and not shown on screen because, the movie is thinking you're smart enough. It's like, oh, they can get it. They can picture it. Like, the only thing that needs to be shown on screen is, like, a major death. And, yeah, this is just what I love about storytelling. I love about certain things like that. It's not all, like, hold your hand, shit. They took it serious and told, a great story. And, yeah, I definitely recommend this if, if you just love a good movie, or if you're into motorcycles, or just whatever. Just go and see this movie. This movie gets a 5 out of 5 from me, and yeah, just really good, and my favorite movie of the year so far, and I think it will stick it because, but I don't know. We'll have to see, because the other one that might take over is Horizon, an American Saga, because that one looks really good. So we'll be comparing that at the end of the year. But with that said, ladies and gentlemen, this has been my review of the BikeRiders. I really enjoyed it. 5 out of 5. Acting was amazing. Tell me, have you seen the BikeRiders down below, or have you not? And if you have not, why? And if you did, tell me what you really enjoyed about this movie. But with that said, ladies and gentlemen, hope you all did enjoy. And if you did, you know what to do. And if you don't, then get out of here.